All right, back here for another day. Today we're working on the distributive property, something that maybe some of you have done before. Super cool trick, comes in handy so often in math. Honestly, one of the biggest things that you'll use in math from here on out to make multiplication a little bit easier for you. Big tool. Love this lesson. We're going to do the first half today, and then we'll do the next half. Let's see, Monday? Yes, Monday. Okay. So to warm up, the first thing I want to do is I want to have you look at this box. We're finding the area of each rectangle. We know our area formula. Area equals length times width. So we're going to look at the first one. I see I got a 4 and a 3. My length is 4. My width is 3. Length times width, 4 times 3 is 12. And here I got 4 and 5. 4 times 5 is 20. So I want to notice that when we add those together, we would get 32. Now looking at our second box, look at I have connected them. So I have my length right here of 4. So I'm going to do 4 times my width was a 3 and a 5 and is now put together to become 8. Also 32. Interesting. Notice that our answers are the same. So I know this might be a little confusing of why this really matters, but I think it'll make sense in a second here as we go over the distributive property. Basically what's happening here is if we put these two together, they equal the same thing. If we pull this apart, it equals the same thing. Distributive property is that type of idea. Right now, this is a huge thing to put in your notes. Some examples of this would be great. The distributive property. We can use it when we're multiplying a sum or difference. So basically what happens is we multiply the numbers inside the parentheses by the number outside the parentheses. I will show you some examples right now. This definition is long and lengthy, and I know it might not make sense. Over here we have our algebraic versions. If you want to put those in your notes, they can come in handy. Right here, I'm going to show you a couple examples to try to make this make sense for you. So basically our rule is telling us multiply each number within the parentheses by the number outside the parentheses. So I have in the parentheses a 2 and a 6. Outside I have a 3. I know typically you would start this problem by doing 2 plus 6 equals 8. We're going to not do that today. I know, crazy. What we're going to do today is we're going to try to do this, our distributive property. What happens is we take this number outside and we move it, or when we multiply it by the first number inside. So we could rewrite this as 3 times 2 plus 3 times 6. I'm multiplying the first number and the second number, leaving us with 3 times 2 is 6, plus 3 times 6 is 18. And our answer would be 24. I took the outside number and multiplied it by both of the middle numbers. I rewrote. We can do the same thing here. Look at, it's the same problem. If you notice, we're just going the opposite way. Doesn't make a difference. So 3 times 6 plus 3 times 2. Once again, that's going to equal 24. We got 18 plus 6. We can do the same for subtraction. It'll look a little bit different. The same idea here. So we got 6 on the outside, 7 and 4 on the inside. We're going to multiply right here and right here. I'm going to write it a little differently this time. I got 6 times 7 minus, because we're doing subtraction here now. Before we had positive in there because we were doing plus. 6 times 7 minus 6 times 4. I know this is 42 minus 24, leaving us with, what is that, 18, I think? 18. Doing this the opposite way. Multiply our 6 times 4. Let me make sure I'm doing this right. First we have our 6 times 7 minus 6 times 4, 42 minus 24 equals 18. Take a look at these over here. If you want to jot those down, their formula for all of these. Notice they are equivalent to the same ones over here. I just plugged in numbers here. Over here, I didn't use numbers. So we're using that distributive property. One more quick example for you. 2 times 1 plus 2. Multiply that 2 times 1. 2 times 1 plus 2 times 2. Leaving us with 2 plus 4 equals 6. You can also check this out. If we did the inside, it would be 1 plus 2 is 3 times 2. Yep, works out. Okay. So that's our distributive property. The way that we are going to use it today is trying to make our math problems a little easier so we can do some mental math. I'm looking at this problem right here, 20 times 102. I'm thinking, oh, I know what 20 times 100 is, but I don't know what 20 times 102 is. But there's a way that we can do this. We can rewrite this. Check this out. 20 times 100 plus 2. This works. This is the same thing as this. 20 times 102, 20 times 100 plus 2. But right here, we know how to distribute this. We can use our distributive property. Multiply that by that, and that by that. We could write 20 times 100 plus 20 times 2. I know the answer of both of those. I can do those in my head. I know this 2,000 plus 20 times 2, 40. 2040. I broke this 102 apart, made it into 102, some mental math that I knew how to do, rewrote that using the distributive property, and worked out. We're going to do one more example here. We've got 397 books for $4 a piece. Library sold them. How much did they make? I know this number is very close to something that'll be a little easier. So I'm thinking, how much do they make? They're making $4 times every 397 book they sold. I see this. I'm thinking, I want to write this a little differently. Check this out. Check this out. This is huge right here. 4 times 400 minus 3. Is that the same thing? 400 minus 3 is 397. They look the same to me. A little different, but it works. We can use our distributive property here too. 4 times 400 minus 4 times 3. I can solve those in my head. I know this, 6 right there, minus 4, 12. I can do that in my head. I rewrote, I simplified. I saw this was close to 400. I thought, okay, I'm going to make it 400 minus 3. I'm going to get some more practice with these type ideas. Here we go. Calendars for $7 a piece. And we sold 204. 7 times 204. We have to figure out how much we made. This is close to something, I know. We know what we're going to do here. We're going to rewrite this. I'm going to write it as 7 times 200 plus 4. And then we can use our distributive right there. 7 times 200 plus 7 times 4. I can solve those in my head. 7, 1400 right there, plus 28. That's how much money we made. Make these into problems that you can do. Make it something that you can solve. This is close to 200. I know how to do this. I know how to do those. I can do those all in my head. All right. Now we're going to work on our simplifying a little bit. This is going to seem like a reverse of what we just did. So we see 8 times 15 minus 8 times 5. If we think about this backwards, we could rewrite this as 8 times 15 minus 5. Does that work? We're going to do 8 times 15, 8 times 5. These are the same thing. But look at this. I can even solve this further. I know that this is 10, so I could simplify this down to 8 times 10. We're kind of doing the opposite of what we just did. Instead of breaking that apart, we're regrouping it together. Take a look at our next one here. Simplifying this. I see 7 times 21 plus 7 times 9. I can rewrite that as 7 times 21 plus 9. Add those up. 7 times 30. I can look at our next one. I got 12 times 52 minus 12 times 62. Rewrite that as 12 times 52 minus 62. That's going to leave us with negative 10. 12 times negative 10. Another awesome rewrite. We got one that looks a little backwards here. Let's not let it fool us. We got 7 times 16 minus 7 times 11. We can rewrite this as 16 minus 11 times 7. 16 minus 11, we know that. That leaves us with 5. 7 times 5, we can solve that one. I could even take that one to the last step, 35. So when we're simplifying, we're kind of backtracking what we did. We're putting it back together, finding a number that it equals to. When we're distributing, we can try to find numbers that are easy for us to solve, do that mental math. We will spend some more time on distributive property next Monday. So if this isn't crystal clear to you right now, that's okay. We'll still have some practice, some review, things like that. Big takeaways, make sure you get this down. Yeah, let's use some distributive property, one of my favorites. Excited to teach you all. That's a wrap.